two-stroke mobbing, we two-stroke mobbing. Haha. What's up, guys? It's your boy Brap Genius at it again with another video. Today I'm out here on my 2007 KTM 200XCW. Street legal, if you did not tell, my bike is street legal. And we're gonna get it popping. So I've been riding for a few years now, and you know, it's fun. I've been loving it and stuff. And it just gives me the chance to reminisce on, you know, the good old days when I had just gotten started with riding, just starting to get into it, and you know, everything that comes with it. There are some things that you miss when you're a beginner rider. Once you get, you know, more experience and you do it a lot more, obviously it's still fun as hell. But you know, there's some things that you like, some things that you don't. So for me, I started out on a YZ125. Some of you guys probably know that. And it was not the best bike for me to start on. But I'll tell you what, I had so much fun with that bike. And it was so hard for me in the beginning personally, just because, you know, my bike was not in the best shape in general. That bike needed a lot of love, and I did not have the money to give it that love, unfortunately. The area that I started riding to also was not the best place for beginners. It was super rocky, super tough terrain, bunch of like steep hills and stuff, going through like swamps, rocky swamps. Like, it was just not a good spot to start, but I still had a blast. My first ride ever was in one of the trails I've taken you guys on before. We rode through it. That trail was super easy. And, you know, we rode through and we came back out onto the road and we took the road back home, and, you know, you just have so much fun. You feel, you know, feel so alive. But for those of you that are going to get into riding, for what it's going to feel like for you, the beginning might be challenging. Some people it's easier, some people have easier terrain to start on, some people have more money so they can get better bikes. Some people also start on the right bike for them. You know, like I said, a YZ125, for the terrain I'm doing, it's, you know, an MX bike that I'm ripping through trails. It's not exactly made for it. So, depending on, you know, the kind of bike you get and the amount of money that you have, will depend on your experience. But overall, like I said, it might be hard in the beginning. For some people, it might be harder than others. But, you know, you're gonna have fun. And some of the things that I miss the most about when I started riding is just how much fun I had in the beginning. Like I said, it was super hard for me, but I was able to pick it up eventually, you know. And like, when I say it was hard for me, it was hard for me. I was a bad rider. And it's not even so much that I was a bad rider. My bike was just in really bad shape. Because, you know, one or two of my friends rode my bike, tell me get out of situations. They're like, no wonder why you're struggling so much. Your bike needs some love, man. That thing is not running right. So eventually I went and got it tuned up and stuff, and then it was a lot better from there. But the beginning for me, like I said, was extremely hard. You know, I couldn't wait for Sundays. Like I said, that's why I ended up getting a motorcycle eventually, because Sundays just weren't enough for me. I absolutely loved riding. I couldn't wait for Sundays. Me and my homies would go out, load up the bikes into our truck, go out, have a blast. You know, that's some of what I miss. We don't really get to do that as much anymore. Everybody's busy with their jobs now and everything. That's something I took for granted. And you know, I'm still out here. I still ride with friends. I still ride with some of the friends I used to ride. It's definitely nowhere near as often now. And it's hard because everybody's into different things now too. Some of my friends got into Jeeps and stuff. You know, in the beginning stages where you're learning how the throttle response is and all the clutch work and stuff, that's something that I miss. You know, that's fun because I love a good challenge as long as I'm able to, you know, overcome that challenge. So, you know, like I said, riding for me was hard, but it was great to be able to overcome that. And, you know, now shifting and, you know, everything else, positioning on the bike and throttle and all that, you know, comes second nature right now. But in the beginning it didn't, and, you know, that was fun to learn. When you first get into riding too, you know, you feel so cool. Like now it's just like you don't care what anybody thinks of you. You just want to have fun. you're doing your thing. That's all that matters. I personally felt, you know, really cool. I felt really cool even though I probably wasn't. You know. And it's just fun. You're in love with the bike in the beginning. It's all you think about. All you think about. It's just, when's the next time I can ride? It's funny too in the beginning because you don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know trails. You really don't know what you're doing. Like, you might think you're doing well, and then, you know, you ride with someone that's a lot better than you, and you're like, wow, I got a long way to go. And, you know, one of the inspiring things when you're new to riding is when you see people that are a lot better than you. Because when you see people overcome things, like go over an insane rock or make it up a crazy hill or something, you know, it just inspires you. Like, you know, I want to push myself and get to that level. You know, I want to be that good. And that's why I say it's always good to ride with people, especially people that are more experienced than yourself. They can help you learn, you know, teach you things that you would never find out on your own. Like for me, I didn't know you were supposed to stand up on the pegs. So in the beginning stages, you know, one of the guys I'm riding with now, Mark, you know, he was teaching me. He's like, bro, you gotta stand up on the pegs. Like, that's why you keep falling off. Sure enough, he was right. I didn't realize that, you know, all the absorption from all the rocks and everything you're riding on, that goes to you when you're sitting on the bike. But when you stand it, the bike is what absorbs it. And depending on your age too, you're gonna have different experiences with like how you feel about riding. Like if you're a kid, obviously, you know, it's gonna be super fun, but you'll have time to really grow into it and you'll have a different perspective. For me, you know, the reason that I enjoyed it way more than I would have if I was a kid was because it was something that I wanted to do my entire life, and I didn't get the opportunity to do it until I was like 17, 18. Actually, I think I was 19 when I got my first dirt bike. So for me, that just made the beginning experience just even more better. Because, you know, riding had been something that I dreamed about my whole life. And now I finally had the opportunity to do it. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't give up so easy. Like when I find out that like people give up on riding like really early, like I don't know, that just doesn't really make sense to me. Like, how could you have this opportunity to do something so much fun and, you know, you can't just give up. But I guess, I don't know, I had that hunger because I wanted to do it for so long. Which not every new beginner rider has, so depends. If you've been wanting to do this for a really long time and you're excited about it, you're gonna have some fun. It might be a little challenging in the beginning, but overall you're gonna have a blast. If you've just come into it, you know, you're still gonna have fun. Everybody's different. It's all about like your passion level. Like obviously I'm very passionate about riding. You know, I've been doing it for years. I have a YouTube channel that surrounds it. This is what I love to do. For other people, you know, they love it too. They just, you know, they have different ways of expressing it. Some people like it more than others. But, you know, if you have strong feelings about it from the beginning, you know, the beginning process is going to be fun. And I would say one of the best things is when you start to overcome some of your struggles. Like for me, for example, you know, there were some hills that I really struggled with in the beginning. They were super hard and, you know, I couldn't keep up with everybody else. I'd be stuck on a hill for like a half hour and it would suck, you know. You're better off just gassing it, making it up. But it's hard. It's hard in the beginning. But eventually, you know, you get better, you're able to overcome it. So I would say even when you're new, you know, some of the small obstacles that you're going to overcome, they just give you so much more confidence and they just make the riding experience so much more fun. Alright, that's it for this one, guys. I'm going to just enjoy the rest of my ride from here on out. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button as always. Have a great day, guys.